A man walks into a dealership in Illinois, picks out a 2016 Hyundai Elantra, and agrees on a price. By the time he leaves, the dealer has loaded so many extras onto his bill that the add-ons alone come out to more than half the price of the car. He never asked for a single one of them. That is not some random complaint on the internet. That came straight out of a federal investigation, and the dealer behind it got hit with the largest penalty ever handed to a car dealership, $20 million. In this video, I am going to walk you through the 6 pricing tricks that dealerships are pulling right now to overcharge you, with real examples and real dollar amounts, and then I will give you the 3 things you need to do before your next car purchase so you do not end up like that guy. The Federal Trade Commission just put 97 of the biggest dealership groups in America on notice for deceptive pricing, and these are not small-time operations. We are talking about AutoNation, Lithia Motors, Hendrick, Sonic, Group 1, and Ken Garff, covering more than 200 dealership locations across the country. And here is why that matters to you personally. A consumer research group called Copilot dug into used car transactions nationwide and found that 71% of buyers ran into pricing that did not match what was advertised. That comes out to 7 out of every 10 people who walked into a dealership and got a different number than the one that brought them in. And Copilot estimates the total cost of that bait and switch pricing adds up to $11.8 billion every single year. On top of that, Kelley Blue Book puts the average new car transaction price at $49,353 right now. You are spending close to $50,000, and the dealership is counting on you not catching the extra charges they slip into your deal. But the dollar amounts are not even the worst part of this. What I found when I looked at the actual cases the government investigated will change how you look at every car deal from here on out, and I will walk you through all of it. When the government looked into these dealerships, they identified 6 specific ways dealers are inflating your price, and every one of them costs you real money. The first trick is the most common. A dealer posts a price online, but that number does not include fees they are going to require you to pay, things like the documentation fee, the dealer prep fee, or a so-called market adjustment. By the time you sit down at the desk, the price has already climbed past what brought you in the door. The second trick is building the advertised price around discounts you will never qualify for. You see $35,000 on the website, you drive to the lot, and then you find out that number assumed you are active duty military, a recent college graduate, and a current owner of a competing brand, all at the same time. You check none of those boxes, which means the real price lands closer to $39,000. Number 3 is hiding a required down payment inside the advertised price, so the number looks lower than what you will actually need to bring to the table. Number 4 catches a lot of people off guard. You walk in pre-approved through your own bank or credit union at a good rate, and the dealer tells you the advertised price only applies if you finance through them. That move is designed to lock you into their financing, which almost always ends up costing you more in interest. The fifth trick is loading your deal with add-on products that were never part of the advertised price. Things like paint protection, fabric coating, or extended warranties you did not ask for and may not even need. And the sixth one is straight-up bait and switch, advertising a vehicle that does not exist or is not actually available, just to get you through the door. All 6 of those are practices the government considers illegal, but knowing they exist is one thing. Seeing what happens when a dealer actually runs them on real people is something else entirely, and that is where this story gets ugly. Let me show you 3 real cases that were investigated and penalized, because the dollar amounts are hard to believe until you see them laid out. The first case involves Leader Automotive Group out of Illinois. This dealer posted low prices online to pull people into the showroom, and once they arrived, forced them to pay for products that were already installed on the car, products the customer never requested. One of those products was a protective coating called Exylon, marked up anywhere from $2,595 to $6,000 depending on the deal, and another was LoJack tracking priced between $1,595 and $2,600. When investigators pulled the records, they found that nearly 80% of this dealer's customers ended up paying for at least one add-on they either never authorized or were falsely told was required. That works out to 8 of every 10 buyers walking out with charges they did not agree to. And this is where it gets worse. On that 2016 Hyundai Elantra I mentioned at the top, the Exylon charge alone ate up 27% of the car's purchase price. In some deals at this dealership, the combined add-ons reached 47 to 54% of the vehicle's sale price, which means someone who came in to buy a $15,000 car walked out owing $23,000. On top of the hidden charges, this dealer required employees to post fake positive reviews online. And in at least one documented case, a dealership refused to hand over the car keys until the buyer posted a 5-star review. They also sold gray market Canadian vehicles, whose manufacturer warranties were void once imported into the United States. The penalty landed at $20 million, the largest ever against a car dealer. But here is the thing, that was not even the most expensive case. Lindsay Automotive Group, operating out of Maryland and Virginia, ran a similar playbook. They advertised low prices and then told the majority of customers they did not qualify for the rebates baked into that advertised number. That included military members who already had their own financing being told they had to go through the dealer just to get the price they saw online. When the case settled in April 2026, Lindsay agreed to a $3.1 million penalty plus refunds to overcharged customers that Automotive News estimated could run past $75 million. And then there is a case out of Dallas involving 3 David McDavid dealerships owned by Asbury Automotive Group. This one remains in court, and the allegations go further than hidden fees. According to the government's complaint, these dealerships charged black customers an average of $298 more, and Latino customers an average of $214 more for the exact same add-on products compared to white customers. Up to 75% of buyers at these locations paid for add-ons they never agreed to. One customer discovered a $1,750 maintenance package and a $609 key replacement plan tacked onto their deal without any consent, and another was told that buying a truck required a bundle of add-ons totaling over $9,500. I do want to be fair here. Asbury denies these allegations and is fighting the case in court, but the pattern across all 3 of these cases runs the same way. Advertise a low price, load the deal with extras, and count on the buyer being too far into the process to walk away. Now, if you are sitting there thinking there should be a law against all of this, you are right, and there almost was. The government actually wrote a rule designed to stop exactly what I just showed you. It was called the Combating Auto Retail Scams Rule, or the CARS Rule. By their own estimate, it would have saved car buyers more than $3.4 billion a year by forcing dealers to show you the real, full price up front and requiring your clear permission before adding any charge to your deal. But the dealer lobby sued to block it, and they won. A federal appeals court threw the rule out in January 2025, and by February 2026, the government officially pulled it off the table. What that means for you is pretty simple. Right now, there is no federal rule that specifically bans these junk fees and hidden add-ons. The government can still go after dealers one at a time, which is how those 3 cases I just showed you happened, but there is nothing covering every buyer in every state at once. California is stepping in with its own version that takes effect October 1st, 2026, and Massachusetts has done something similar. But if you do not live in one of those two states, you are mostly looking out for yourself. And this is where the timing makes everything worse. With 25% tariffs on imported vehicles adding thousands to the sticker price and new car costs climbing $1,315 on average in just the first 3 months of 2026 according to Cars.com, dealers are holding more cards than they have in years. Inventory remains tight, and that gives them room to push. Cox Automotive pulled their latest numbers and found that 58% of car loan borrowers currently owe more than their vehicle is worth. When you are already upside down on a loan, a dealer who quietly packs $3,000 in add-ons into your monthly payment can bury it so deep you will not catch it until the damage is done. A 2024 survey by KPA and Harris found that 76% of Americans do not trust dealerships to be honest about pricing. 3 out of 4 people already feel it in their gut, and right now, there is very little standing between that gut feeling and your wallet. So, here is how you protect yourself, and none of this is complicated. Number 1, before you visit any dealership, ask for the out-the-door price in writing. Not the sticker price, not the starting at number you saw on the website. The final, total, everything included number with every fee listed out. If that price goes up by a single dollar when you sit down at the desk, you now know exactly what is happening, and you have every reason to push back or walk out. Number 2, line up your financing before you go. Walk in with a pre-approval from your own bank or credit union, because that does 2 things at once. It takes away the dealer's ability to mark up your interest rate, which they commonly do by 1 to 2 percentage points, and it kills the "you have to finance with us to get this price" move, which is one of the 6 practices the government just flagged as illegal. Number 3, refuse every add-on you did not ask for. Fabric protection, VIN etching, nitrogen in the tires, paint sealant, extended warranties you do not need, all of it. If the salesperson tells you something is already installed and cannot be removed, ask for a different car or leave. The National Consumer Law Center documented cases where VIN etching that cost the dealer $16 was sold to the customer for $173, and that comes out to a markup of over 1,000%. Across their data, service contract markups averaged 83%. And when you get to the finance office, talk about the total price of the car and not the monthly payment. Rolling hidden charges into your monthly number without telling you is exactly how one of those Dallas dealerships allegedly got 75% of its customers to pay for products they never agreed to buy. Remember that Hyundai Elantra I told you about at the beginning, the one where the add-ons came out to more than half the price of the car? The dealer behind that deal got hit with the largest penalty in history, and the government just warned 97 more dealership groups that they could be next. The rule that was supposed to protect you from all of this is gone, but now you know what tricks they run, what to refuse, and what to demand before you put your name on anything. If this kept you from making a costly mistake, you know what to do.